Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts here, and this is the Gaming Saloon for May 16th, 2020, with your host, Beastbreaker2448, trying to wrap it up, Salon.
Hi.
It is quite a news-filled week this week for once. I am honestly surprised. Granted, I think us getting closer to when E3 was supposed to happen means, oh, we're just gonna time out our information releases to right around then-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, we might have a tier list if we go long enough. But before we get into the whole bundle of news, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Honestly, not much. I was wanting to try to play a little bit of, Halo 2 and the Master Chief Collection, except for I had to jump through hoops to actually get it to install, so...
Oh, goody.
Hard drive was apparently too low for Steam to recognize, except for the fact that it actually had enough room to hold it, so I have no idea.
I surprisingly didn't have problems with downloading a big game this week, because it was free. Because GTA 5 is free on the Epic Game Store.
I have it marked as purchased for my account, but obviously running Linux, so Epic Game Store doesn't like playing nice on Linux.
Yeah, that sucks. It was good. Okay, bear in mind, I have a physical copy of GTA 5 for 360 from way back when. I only really picked this up because I wanted to play GTA Online. Because they've added in a crap ton of stuff since then. Like, there's all these new heists and new like locations and stuff. It's more or less become a big old like games as service network, more or less, because of everything you can do. I think their most recent thing was they put in a casino that you could do betting and stuff on, and you can go through the setup to do a heist and rob said casino.
Huh.
But funny enough, there's this big prize wheel in the center of the casino that you can spin for free, and it's got like money and experience and clothing and all that. Guess what I got?
What?
I got the car. Like, the rarest thing on there is the car, and I got it per spin. I was like, what the fuck is this? But the great news is, if you hop in, they more or less give you like a bunch of stuff to start off with, like a bunch of locations and weapons and cars, and like a bunch of stuff for free off the bat to more or less get you started. So you're not starting off completely from scratch. Which is nice. And I think they've also like doubled experience and money gain for the weekend. So I was getting like 12, 15K off of just regular jobs. Unfortunately, a lot of the pricier locations and stuff are like
The Discord break. Discord broke.
Discord, why?
So then my thought was not the problem. Good to know.
Damn. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I played it for a couple hours. I've probably played it on and off again since Fortnite has my favorite game mode on rotation every couple of days. And I don't feel like bothering with it. So. Talk about Persona 5 Royal. We were doing Pokemon, so like, I don't have much more to add on Persona 5 Royal until I get back to it. Anything else?
No.
Alright then, let's talk news. And first up, Xbox had their Inside Xbox for May. Their first of, I think, monthly events going forward.
Maybe. I have no idea.
I believe these are monthly, and I believe next month's is Halo. I could have sworn I saw an article, like, just a little bit ago that said Halo is in fact next month.
Probably.
It would make sense. It's kind of their big marquee title. And at this point, kind of the only game most people are probably looking forward to at the moment.
Debatable, but yeah.
Oh no. It's for July.
Huh.
So that's 2 months away. So what the fuck's in the June one? But did you get to check out this stream at all?
No.
To be honest, you're not missing much, because this was billed as here is a showcase of Xbox Series X gameplay, and most of this was not gameplay. And now that I think about it, I forgot to put a thing in the notes. I forgot to put in the Unreal Engine 5 debut. All the triangles is the best way to put it.
I mean, you gotta have all the triangles for all the teraflops.
Yeah. Although they showed the engine apparently running on a PlayStation 5. Which was very oddly specific for them to say.
Huh.
But yeah, otherwise it was tech demo. It looked neat. But hearing Giant Bomb folks talk about it, and some the Easy Allies people talk about it, was just like, hey, this is like the pinnacle. It's like well above like what is possible or what is going to happen for next gen consoles. Because it is a tech demo. But hey, it looks cool. But anywho, for Xbox, probably just hit these and we can talk about whatever piques the interest. Assassin's Creed Valhalla actually ended the show with a more or less little sizzle reel of like 1 to 2 second shots from the game. Nothing super spectacular there, to be honest, after this being billed as the big thing for the May one. It was extremely disappointing. Bright Memory Infinite, which is a sequel to Bright Memory, which I didn't know. I just thought this was the same game. It was just getting rebranded because it wasn't out yet.
Every game does.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, I got a subtitle because it's just a new game. It's just the same game except with subtitle now. They just didn't release it yet. But no, that's not the case. This is an outright sequel. It looked the most interesting. It was a FPS with more or less what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. People that made Apex Legends, their game. Like, their main game. I can't think of the name of it. But yeah, that with, like, the parkour, like, movement tech, and the bullet storm, like, whip, like, electro whip to, like, pull enemies, and melee combat, it looked like this weird mishmash of ideas and stuff that I'm not sure how well will, like, all work together is in one, but it looked the most impressive because it was actual gameplay. Outside of this weird driving segment out of the end where you're calling the DeLorean for some reason that I'm pretty sure was not gameplay and it was a cutscene. But honestly, it was like the most technically impressive of it in terms of like visuals. Call of the Sea is probably the other one because, hey, look, a game with an art style that is not like everything is in shadow and everything has to be 5 shades darker than what the standard color is. Like, it's a bright, like, nice looking game. Probably gonna be some like adventure puzzle game, more or less, your first person adventure puzzle games. It looked nice. It's like the only game here I think that actually had an art style that wasn't just dark, gritty, realistic colors. Chorus, or Corvus, as it looked, I think, with the title screen. Would you like some space combat? Because this is what the game, I think, is, but we only got like small glimpses of gameplay. So it's hard to see like how best it's going to do next year for that one. Call of the Sea is... I'm willing to bet. Oh no, 2020, and on Game Pass, which is probably for the best. This looks like a perfect title for Game Pass. And Primary Infinite does not have a release date. And I believe Valhalla is probably just fall. Yep, holiday. Dirt 5, the next installment of the prestigious Dirt franchise, with a racing game that I honestly thought was Forza.
Wow.
I honestly thought it was Forza Horizon. Like another Forza Horizon to start with, but it's like, no, it's Dirt. And I'm like, oh, cool. Sure.
Yeah, that's never a good sign whenever you look like another game.
Really? Especially another game you have more entries of than it. Technically. It looked like a racing game. I don't know, I miss my arcade racers. Madden NFL 21 was announced, and that was it. We got more gameplay of previous Madden games than we got of this Madden game, which was exactly 0 gameplay. So, football exists. And this might be the only way for you to football this year.
Very possible.
Yep. Scarlet Nexus, that honestly, I swear is probably being done by the Code Vein team. Because it looks like...
Did it really? That might have fixed it.
Yay! But yeah, Scarlet Nexus is, but it looks kind of like Code Vein, a character action game. But since it's just being done by Bandai Namco, there's no specific studio attached to it. I have a feeling it's probably being done by the Code Vein team, because it really looks like Code Vein. And with like its art style and its design, it's like it feels like it's pulling right from the same pool of ideas that Code Vein is being pulled from. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh, this is the Code Vein team doing another game because Code Vein went over well, and I'm like, okay, cool. Except apparently this is from the Tales series, or Tales series developers, including Tales of Vesperia. Which is weird, because again, it just looks so much like Code Vein. But not much else on that. Scorn! This apparently has a very troubled development cycle. It's been in development for about 8 years, and had a failed Kickstarter campaign. Because it also had no gameplay when it was doing its Kickstarter, which is probably not a good sign.
Yeah, because to be fair, that kind of looks like give me your money for empty promise.
Yeah, because Matt McMuscles, I was watching him, like his truncated version of commentating the Xbox event, and he told a story about getting in contact with the Scorn devs when they were doing the Kickstarter. It's like, hey, I want to like support, like promote your game. You have a demo or like a playable build I can like play and showcase the game. It's like the dev was like, no one can see our game. We don't want to ruin it for anyone. So no one can see our build of the game, which is that's not good.
Yeah.
So this may not come out. Second Extinction. More or less. Do you like Turok? Because this is probably the closest you'll ever get to Turok. It's dinosaurs, and you must kill dinosaurs. Like 4-person multiplayer, or 4-person co-op from the looks of it. It looked alright. The Ascent is a Diablo-style shooter. Very cyberpunk in its aesthetic. Otherwise, eh. The Medium. Here's a horror game with the Silent Hill composer on it. And that's kind of it. More or less, do you want a Silent Hill game? This is probably a Silent Hill game. From the looks of it. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 got probably the most gameplay besides Infinite Memory in its trailer. It looks good. You play a vampire, and you're kind of kill people and stuff. I have no experience with Vampire the Masquerade, so I don't know what your overall goal in them is. Besides, you are vampire, go do vampire things. And finally, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is Yakuza 7, aka the Yakuza with turn-based combat that you wouldn't know if you watched just this, is coming stateside this year, or being localized this year. It's already out in Japan. And it will be day one on Xbox Series X. And Steam, I believe. So.
On Windows 10.
Yep. But yeah, what I've seen of it looks good. It's Yakuza, but turn-based combat, which is weird, but it seems like they've done it well. But it came out.
So it's Yakuza with a little bit of Final Fantasy mixed into it?
More like Dragon Quest, because the Yakuza devs really love Dragon Quest.
Okay.
There is literally a pulling a spiked or a barbed wire wrapped baseball bat out of the ground like Excalibur moment. And everyone's got their fancy special moves, and I think there's some summons in the game too.
Wait,
like they
what? Summons?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in just for the craziness.
Like you summon Majima to just go beat the shit out of people and stuff. Like it is. When I say it is turn-based RPG, I mean they lean heavily into turn-based RPG, like tropes and everything.
Yep, I'm kind of in for it. Okay.
Yeah, it is bonkers. Like I believe one of your special moves is literally like calling down the Hammer of Dawn practically on your opponents. You literally just dial up a satellite and just be like, fire the laser, and you just fire a laser on people. And then I think another one is just like summoning an army of lobsters to kill someone.
I
was about to say, there is a video list of it, of all the craziness that happens in this game, of all your special moves, and it leans in hard to this. So give it a look. Anything else from Microsoft on their not very good first showcase of Series X?
Nah. Because, I mean, I wasn't a fanboy for the Series X to begin with. Because I'm looking at every way that they're pitching it, and I'm like, okay, you're not really devoted to it.
Honestly, I feel like Game Pass is probably the best thing they have at the moment.
Well, I think what I saw makes a lot more sense. Truthfully, Sony's the only one left in the video game industry, as far as console-wise goes. Because Microsoft has figured out they're better off with siding with the PC side.
Yeah.
Nintendo's kind of just off in their corner doing their own thing and being successful at it.
Yeah.
It's like, really, Sony's the only one around kind of deal as far as home console video game systems.
Yeah. And especially when Microsoft has figured out how to do a streaming service better than the thing that was made to be a streaming service except isn't. Because Game Pass is more of a streaming service than Stadia is at the moment.
I feel like, though, the only reason that Microsoft has a edge up on that is because they're actually utilizing other frameworks to try to help distribute.
Yeah.
Whereas Stadia is doing it all, so of course there's going to be problems.
Yeah, and trying to make it it's all streaming, all stuff, and it's just like, you have no way of just downloading games. It's just like,
I mean, I like that, but I don't feel like I could be with Stadia long term because of that also. Because also, what happens when Google decides that it's not making them enough money and cans it?
Yeah, because you also have to pay for games on Stadia.
I mean, it's one of those, I like it. I've not had any problems with it that I haven't been able to fix. I'll put it that way. But yeah, I don't think I could ever long-term adopt it because of that. Because what happens when Google decides to axe it? Then you're stuck paying all that money in for nothing.
Yeah.
It's one of those, if that's the argue point people have with Stadia, then I'm like, yep, Yep, I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's when people are like, I don't like the tech part of it. It's like, well, that tells me you're probably not getting it set up properly for your system.
Yeah.
Granted, the way you have to go about setting it up is kind of dumb and convoluted. I'll give you that. But if it boils down to user error by the end of it, then you can't really fault the system.
Yeah. They just need to stupid-proof their system.
Yep.
Well, we have a better thing to talk about. From a... I guess it's being counted as a state of play, although it's weird to call it a state of play since most of them have been more direct styles. And I don't think a direct has ever focused on one game. I'm trying to think. No, it has. Yeah, I think Pokemon mainly has been doing the main focus directs.
But they've always been Pokemon directs. They've not really been Nintendo directs.
True.
Whenever it's a Nintendo Direct, there's usually one that takes the front stage, but then they still are talking about others.
Yeah. But for 19 minutes, or about 19 minutes actually, we got all sorts of Ghost of Tsushima gameplay to showcase it. And is it weird that I get some Breath of the Wild feels from it?
I can see that.
Well, mainly just like it probably doesn't help that like our first opening shot of the gameplay is character overlooking vast environment from a high cliffside. And I'm like, that's extremely Breath of the Wild. That's like that's your big first moment of Breath of the Wild is overlooking the plateau.
I'm kind of just running it in the back, and wow, even before you get to that point, I'm getting a lot of vibes.
Yeah. Honestly, this game looks gorgeous, first and foremost. It looks gorgeous. Especially when you get into the more, like colorful forested areas. It is fucking gorgeous. They have an interesting little, like, waypoint system where you actually mark a location and then you just kind of have these like trail of wind, this like wind trail points you in the direction that you need to go. So you don't have an actual like map marker hanging around, you just have a wind trail to just like go this way. Also, I love how calling for your horse just makes it pop out of nowhere, which feels right.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about with that shot. That is very Breath of the Wild-esque. I mean, while I feel like Breath of the Wild's a good pattern to kind of follow open world games, is there such a thing as maybe too close? Because, like, yeah, I'm uber feeling that. Also, Discord probably broke again.
I'm gonna say it did.
I'm gonna say it did, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna probably go back to the other because this is breaking far more often than normal.
Is it fixed?
For now.
Okay. But
as I was going to say, there's the different break.
Do what?
I said until we get the different break, because I know that'll happen.
Yeah. But The weird thing is there's two main routes of combat in this. You can take a more direct, more or less samurai route where you do direct combat. And you have all of the stuff surrounding that, so a lot more swordplay, a lot more like one-on-one, 1v2 combat. Or you can take a ninja route and do more stealth, kind of Assassin's Creed-like combat. Like classic Assassin's Creed, where you are going around taking out enemies one after the other, and sometimes very brutally, because some enemies will run from you and then you just go, fuck that, no, you're dead. And you just stab them as they try to run away from you. And also, you attempting to assassinate people is not a guaranteed one-shot kill. Some enemies are strong enough to take a first hit, so you do have to do a second hit. There's different charms and stuff you can get to boost or to get different effects for your combat. All of your clothing is not only customizable in the way it looks, but also for stats. And again, just like Breath of the Wild, it's all dyeable. The different materials you pick up can give you different colors you can dye the clothes in. Also, you can pet foxes. You can pet the good boys. There's a photo mode that allows you to change a whole bunch of stuff for those that care about photo modes. Like, it lets you like do different like effects and different like wind, like different just special effects, more or less. And you can also more or less make GIFs along with just pure photos.
Welcome back, Joey.
There's a black and white mode, so you can play the entire game in black and white if you want to do it that way. And it's all in Japanese with subtitles. With, I believe, an English voice option. I'm trying to remember if they, like, there's 2 vocal tracks and like all in different like visual and like audio options you can choose from off the bat. Like pretty much before you start the game, you can like more or less customize how you want to play the game from the get-go. And they've been like also pushed like, hey, we're gonna let you customize how you do combat as well. So like all the different charms, and I assume like weapons and stuff will play into like, I want to play this way, and all this stuff will benefit me playing this way. So yeah, it looks cool. And for those wondering, it comes from Sucker Punch. So once more showcasing, yeah, that core 3 of really good developers on PS2 days, they're still doing really good stuff. This Sucker Punch, Sonic, and Naughty Dog. And I think for all intents and purposes these days, that's the core 3 developers for Sony. Uh-oh. What happened? I'm gonna go now. What's happening?
I feel like the server broke.
I saw it like drop, it go up and down super hard.
And I never dropped frames.
So that seems like a Discord issue.
Yeah. Because I was fixing to ask you to see if your internet was goofed up, and when I hovered over the ping, the server status went to red immediately, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But honestly, it looks really cool. I'm kind of excited for this. And this is coming PlayStation 4, and it's coming out in 2 months. This comes out July 17th. We are not that far away from it. Also, another really good thing in this game, bows look like they are fun because you just fucking obliterate someone with a bow. And it just has this nice, just like, boom sound effect when you just clunk, when you just peg somebody with it. But you got any thoughts on this?
Nah.
All right. Next up. Hey, guess what? We didn't get a Direct this week, but we got a Nintendo game. Because, surprise! Here's a new Paper Mario game for the Switch. Oh boy. So, this new one looks interesting. Because, you know how we've had that card-style combat for the last couple?
Yeah.
That's not here, but they haven't super gone into the combat of this. The best way I can describe it, and I hope there's an image of it here to help illustrate it. Is there an image in the gallery to illustrate this? No, of course not. I gotta find a time code in here for where it is. Okay, there it is, like 134-ish. So you've got all these enemies surrounding you on different sides in like these different rings. Kind of seeing that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so apparently you can move some of these rings, and you're only given so much time to move them. And if you line up the enemies in a line, you get more attack power, and you can also like multi-hit that line of enemies with multi-hit attacks. So it's kind of like puzzle combat. And from a Chinese trailer, I think, there is a toad standing next to you when you do an attack animation. And from descriptions on the website, there's very much a hint that we do have partner combat back. Because it also doesn't help that on the box art, if I can find it real quick. On the box art, you have several different characters that you can see accompanying you in this trailer. Like there's the origami character, who I believe is a prince, who is trying to help you stop the king from like taking over the Mushroom Kingdom and turning everyone into origami, and more or less pulling a one of us situation. Because that's the Princess Peach dialogue at the beginning, and it's really good. Like, it seems like the writing on this is really good, much like Color Splashes was. But it also seems like they got the combat right. So you got up a Bomb, a Shy Guy, a Toad, a Koopa Troopa, a Hammer Brothers, Bowser Jr. I believe Kamek is also seen accompanying you in a couple cutscenes, or a couple like shots of the trailers. And then like the enemy that spits out like the big like spiked pole things and the spiked balls from I think the new Super Mario Brothers World games. I can't think of their names off the hand. But you got that, and then you have a folded up Bowser also accompanying you in certain instances. And plus, like, outside of that, like, this game looks really good visually across the board from all the different locations we're seeing. And then you have like some folded, like 1,000-fold arm technique to, I guess, like do some puzzle solving as well in environments. Honestly, this makes me have hope, and I hope it's really good. Because I think my only problem with Color Splash is just I just didn't like the card management because it looked like a nightmare for me personally.
I could see it.
Like, I just wish all the different, like, same kind of cards you had would just be condensed. And to just, you have this many of this card. Like, you don't have to, like, scroll through, like, 12 copies of it. It's just like, no, this many of this card. That's it. Also, the little, like, stinger at the end of the trailer is really cute. Yeah, it looks good. I have hope. It comes out in 2 months, actually, because it comes out the same day as Ghost of Tsushima on the 17th. Which is kind of hilarious. So, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I don't know, actually. I've kind of never really dived into the Paper Mario stuff, so it's like, I don't know.
I know I saw jokes on Twitter about the Paper Mario fans only like one kind of Paper Mario, and it's the original two. But I'm like, I think this has like the right mix. Like, I think this is more in line with, I think, what people want out of Paper Mario. I think the only thing it's missing is more specific types of enemies having more specific characters to them. I think if this game has that, it's got everything that makes Paper Mario Paper Mario. Because Paper Mario is the series that has not just a Ba-Bomb, but this is this specific Ba-Bomb. Or here is the Pianta Mafia boss. Or this is the, like Chef Toad. Like, it has those more... It makes the Mario world seem more, like, plentiful, I guess, than the normal games do. Because it does have that opportunity of just exploring the world.
I could see that, actually.
Yeah. But anything else?
Nah.
Alright then, in the first of the Summer Game Fest reveals from Jeff Keighley and his effort to more or less put every major video game reveal under one banner so you can just go to one website and just see them all. Because Ghost of Tsushima was also technically under this, even though it's more of a Sony state of play. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 are being remade. They're coming out September 4th. PS4, PSC, and Xbox One. $40. And this is coming from the Spyro Reignited Trilogy developers.
Huh.
Oddly enough, they're tackling another, more or less, from the ground up remake.
I guess, though, it makes sense that they did, because, I mean, I'm wanting to say it was Spyro 3 that did have some of the skateboard segments, so they do kind of have an idea of what to do with it.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm sure changing that for the remaster probably is nothing like this, but it kind of makes more sense.
And apparently, if you pre-order, you get access to the warehouse demo, which I believe is just a demo of the game, I guess. I know Glock said earlier it was the map everyone was excited about, but seeing it say warehouse demo makes me go, is it just a demo level, more or less? It's not like the full level? You just get to play it a little early? Yeah, this kind of looks cool. I think the only other thing to note is that not all of the music from the original 2 games is back for this one. Which I assume is licensing issues.
Makes sense, yeah. Because that is one thing that the Tony Hawk games kind of did, was take licensed music and kind of just use it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But they're pushing really hard to capture the original physics engine. So this is going to be as one-to-one as possible.
I feel like that's the big goal. Make it feel like it plays the same. Even if it sounds different, that's fine.
Yeah. So, here's hoping. Anything else?
No.
Alright then. Not quite the trilogy we were looking for, but there is a trilogy getting a remaster, and it's the Mafia trilogy. Quick little teaser showcasing it. But Mafias 1, 2, and 3 are getting remastered and released more information May 19th. I don't know. Do you think we need to?
I put it in chat because I figured that would be a you decision.
Oh.
Because I kind of keep the up next thing up to date.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay. I wasn't wanting to break stream of thought. That's why I did that, actually.
Yeah. I was mainly looking for a release date. It's just like, nope. May 19th. God damn it.
May 19th.
May 19th. Oh my god. Only wrestling fans are just like, oh, May 19th. That is a memeable day for wrestling fans. But you know, May 19th for more information, Xbox One, PS4, and Epic Game Store for this one. Is it weird that I find it odd that people complain about the Epic Game Store getting all these exclusives?
I mean, my biggest complaint with it is, why can't we have everything just on Steam? Like, why can't all PC releases just go ahead and be on Steam?
Yeah.
Because I get give diversity and all of that, but that is so obnoxious to have like 5 different installer or 5 different storefronts for PC and no way to unify them.
Yeah.
Like that legitimately is obnoxious. With Xbox or PlayStation, it don't matter where you go to buy the game, you're going to be able to play it all at the same location, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, why has no one ever done that with PC?
I watched Super Bunny Hop do a video like trying to find a solution to your multi-launcher problem on PC, and unfortunately no one has quite cracked the code on it.
I think because the only real way is just to have all the launchers open and pass the launch commands through one program.
Yeah.
Because essentially on Linux, Lutris does that, and you still technically have to have Steam installed and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have it all in one area, but it doesn't really save any resources.
Yeah. Anywho, the Mafia stuff looks nice. Curious to see how that looks once we get more information. But last up, weirdly enough, Mortal Kombat. So, you know how Mortal Kombat 11 has been out for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're coming out with an expansion, which is dubbed Aftermath. The best way to put it is not only are you getting a brand new story, focusing on, I believe, Shang Tsung and two of the characters that you see in this image. One of them is, in fact, the one that isn't in that story mode is RoboCop, for reference. So RoboCop is not a part of the story, but you're getting three classic skins for characters. I think it's Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and someone else. Frost. That's who it is. Frost. But 3 classic skins for them, and 3 new characters, which are the 3 you see, which are Fujin, Shiva, and RoboCop. And this is $40. And I believe it is $60 if you want to grab all this together with everything that's already come out from Mortal Kombat 11. Which has caused a bit of a stink of people being like, why do people get to play $60 for everything so far when, like, if you are buying this after buying everything else, you have paid more than $60 for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of sucks. Although, from the way Steam's breaking it down, not really? Oh wait, no, yeah. It's like half the price, just about. It'd be $110 normally altogether, but you are just paying $60. You're saving about $50 if you buy in now. So just about the cost of this expansion. But in a free update with this, you do get stage fatalities, friendships, and a new stage, or new stages. For reference, friendships are, instead of brutally murdering your opponent, you have Scorpion hug a teddy bear. They're weird and kooky. It's a thing from the original Mortal Kombat. Anywho, how do you feel about this?
I honestly don't know how to feel about it, because I don't know, for some reason with fighting games I've usually have to be in the mood for it, and I rarely am.
True.
So it's one of those I'm kind of at the
It does suck if you bought in early, you're kind of getting fucked on the price.
But I mean, really, if you think about that, you kind of are on just about any game.
Very true.
I mean, I could almost guarantee it to you that there is quite a few games that have DLC that if you bought in early, you're going to be paying a lot more than if you just waited.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one of those, it's like, you take that gamble. When a game first releases, you take that gamble of, do I pay $60 now and get part of the game, or do I wait and potentially pay $60 later and get all of the game?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, I'm like, the people that are griping, I'm like, what did you expect? Because they can't leave the game at 60 forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it It's one of those complicated things. It's like it's only a problem in the game industry because we do have that continual development of stuff for video games. So when something gets re-released, oh look, it does have more stuff for the same price. Like that's like movies kind of have that, but not really.
I think it hits games more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I mean, truthfully speaking, as far as movies go, that rarely happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's more you might get some additional deleted scenes that they didn't think needed to be in it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much you get complete add-ons kind of deal. It's one of those I feel like it affects movies too, but it affects games far worse.
Yeah. Oh, why did I put that down there? I'm trying to organize. I'm trying to organize tier list stuff on my end.
Oh.
Not the easiest because of how it's all listed. I'm throwing that one down there. You go down there. Is that everyone down to bottom? Okay. Not perfect organization, but it works. But yeah, anything else on this?
I can't think of nothing.
Alright then, we'll do a tier list since we got time for it. So, we've done a file form one for all main writers. Well, for half the Heisei main writers in this situation. Due to our collective experience only being really phase 2.
Yeah.
So I figured, let's do the secondary writers and tertiary beyond that for anyone that does have a final form in that conversation, which is very few and far between.
Oh, this is uber out of order hard.
Yeah, it's the only one I could find with all the secondary writers, except it has all the main ones too, and
Oh, this is a problem too because oof.
Yep.
Oof.
Trying to get it in order on my end as well while I'm at it. So we'll probably do what we did again, just secondary writers, importance and relevance in show and all that.
Are we gonna just stick to the ones that we've seen in action?
Yeah, might as well. I don't see any reason not to do that.
And I'm assuming also on that note we are going in order.
Yep.
Which is going to be very difficult. Because, oh my god, why did they do it this way?
I have no idea. Is it really just that? Or wait, no, there's two of them. Is it really only the two game ones? Yes it is. Okay, cool. And not that ghost one. Great, that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this. Oh well.
Oh. Is there one missing?
Granted, all the X8 ones. So you have to give us a minute, folks, as we get this attempt to organize.
Ah. Looking right over him. Okay.
Oh, did you miss someone?
Yeah. I couldn't find Lord Baron. It took me a second, and then I was like, oh, okay, found him.
Wait, you have that one, but you don't have the... Fuck you, tier list. Fuck you. Make sure no one below that, because I'm not counting the Omagio one, because that's... I think that's technically a Sogo final form. Like, I'm not even counting that.
Why is a Vault in here?
Because of Vault Black Hole.
No. Just no.
I was about to say, Kronos is in here as well.
I have not laid eyes on that yet.
Yeah, Kronos, Gemdeus Kronos is also in here. And Omagio, because I don't know if we're counting that as just Omagio in of himself, or Sogo as Omagio, or something else entirely. I don't fucking know what this tier list is after. Because it has the both of the final forms for Deno, if you want to have that conversation about Climax and Liner. But it does not have Sin Spectre. It only has Deep Spectre. But then it has Mock Chaser. I believe that one's Mock Chaser. I always get them backwards on which one's Mock Chaser, which one's Chaser Mock. Which one is? Which way is it? Okay, this is Chaser Mock. The Unified Colors one is Mock Chaser. Okay, that makes sense.
I guess.
It makes sense to somebody. You got it in order on your end?
Not 100% now.
Okay.
Because some of these are in weird places, and it's like, oh my god. Why?
I actually put it in order for both faces because I actually know the order for all of that. Surprisingly enough.
I'm sure that made that 100 times easier for you.
Yeah.
I vote we skip Villain Riders just altogether.
So Black Hole, Gamdeus Kronos, get him? Question mark?
No, we'll count him. He's kind of that neutral.
I assume Paradox is okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, he got his redemption arc, so I'd count him.
Yeah. Which laser form are we counting?
I'm just gonna count them all as one, more or less.
That's why I said, which one are we counting?
Just regular laser. We're not gonna worry about shit. Jet Combat and Shakakiri Sports proto versions. It's laser. It's just laser. It's all the same.
Yeah. I think I'm good. I'll probably regret saying that, but I think I'm good.
I'm just comparing yours to mine real quick.
I feel like I need to make one more down below.
You missed Alan.
I was gonna say, and just throw like everyone that I know is not in it, kind of deal. That way I can get them completely out of view and not have to keep worrying about this.
Yeah. I was about to say, Alan's at the end of the list. But it's friendship boost, so...
That might be why I missed.
Probably. I'm surprised that's here, and Spectre is not in Sin Spectre. It's in Deep Spectre.
Oh, I got it. Oh, nope. We're going to do this the opposite way.
Oh.
I'm going to make one to put the ones that we're actually doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because the more that I'm realizing that, the more I'm going to have to be scrolling up and down the page to get it. And I'm like, nope.
I'm trying to think, have we... I don't think we've watched the movie for... The Incomplete, have we? In any capacity? I'm just gonna put Shapu there.
I think you're right, actually. I don't think we have.
Also, somehow mine's 2 rows while yours is 3. It's probably because Yakoretsu. That would be why. Did I miss anyone?
Well, okay. Which Gates form are we counting?
Shippu, because I like blue.
Okay.
They're the same form, but like Shippu could be the representation on this one.
That works. Then that should be right.
Double checking on mine. Despite organizing everything and just being like, okay, is everything falling in order? Yeah, everything's in order. Also, we have also drift compatible on that one on order as well. We have the exact same order on the X8 Riders. Oh, you're missing Prime Rogue. Between Knight and Ryuki. Second row. Kind of in the middle.
Ah.
And then we also do the same order for the Build Riders.
Yeah. Which I almost feel like that one's probably canonically right.
Yeah. I want to say the X8 Riders, I put them in as the order they appear in, actually.
I think that was kind of what I was going with.
Yeah. It's not here because whoever did this tier list did not put Tajador in.
Yeah.
But for our purposes, when we did it, Tajador was just in the conversation because more or less, whatever character you see, we're just counting whatever final form whatever final form it is for that. Then that's it.
Yeah. It's one of those that I'm on that fence with Tajador and Utotera for kind of either one could be, depending on how you interpret it. Also, Discord might have possibly decided to pick the most inopportune time to break. Thanks.
Hell yeah.
I love that you can immediately be right on the dot with that.
Yeah. Also, personally, I count them both as it because there's a lot of duality stuff going on in those, so I say both. And I don't argue with people over it because you're allowed to have your own interpretations. You're allowed to decide what a final form is. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Ooh, Infinity is actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So, secondary writers. I guess we're starting with the end. With the one I've seen in action, but I don't think you have.
I don't think I have either. But I have to
weird.
Go off the assumption that it's somewhat similar to Decade Complete.
Yes, except it doesn't use secondary writers, it uses movie villain writers. Like, let me pull this up so I make sure I get the list right. Because it's also weird, because I believe this came from one of the Deno trilogy movies, Episode Blue, I believe. No, Episode Yellow, my bad. Episode Blue is New End. Episode Yellow is, or not New End, New Deno. Episode Yellow is the End, and this is where he gets his complete form.
I feel like I remember you saying about this now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a connection here, but it only is in like 2 episodes of the series. So, in terms of representation for writers on this, instead of secondary writers, it is G4 from Project G4, the Agito movie, Ryuga, episode final for Agito. Or not Agito, Ryuki, wow, words. Orja from Paradise Lost, the Fies movie. Glaive from Missing Ace, the Blade movie. Kabuki from Seven Oni, the Hibiki movie. Caucasus from Godspeed Love, the Kabuto movie. Arc from I don't remember the Kiva movie's name, but the Kiva movie. And then Skull from Decade Double, Movie War 2010. Do you notice a problem here?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So first and foremost, Skull is not a villain writer. But I believe the movie this came out in predates A to Z. What was this? June 2010. Yeah, this predates A to Z, so Skull is the only villain writer we can go off of for a solo movie. Or in terms of like a movie. There's no Deno villain for I have no fucking idea why. Even though there's like 4 of them he can choose from. Including the one in this very movie that he's fighting against. But no. And also Skull's the only one from a crossover movie. But episode connection wise, Yeah, it probably is. This tier list was done before God Max Mighty. Honestly, Sin Spectre is also not here for Spectre, even though Friendship Boost is here for Alan. It's
and
a tier
they're
list
in the
that's weird.
same movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird and dumb. Like, Laser Level X isn't even here for Laser. Again, predates Gaze Majesty, probably. But anywho, the connection is, if you remember, technically, Dien did steal the G4 chip in the Agito episodes and stole the Orja and I believe the Saiga belts in the Fies episodes. So technically, he has stolen items related to two of these characters in the series, but I don't think he stole anything else from any of these other riders. So, I got nothing. So, long explanation out of the way. How do you feel about the end complete?
I feel like they should have just replicated Decade Complete and just did it with secondary riders, truthfully.
Yeah.
That probably would have been far less complicated.
Yeah.
Or if they were gonna tweak it in a way that at least makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that is one thing I'm sure we're gonna, by the time we get to Spectre, we're gonna actually count Sun Spectre, not Deep Spectre.
Yeah.
And truthfully, it did a really good job at taking a final form that already exists and modifying it to fit the secondary rider a little better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like where Mugen kind of works for Ghost, Sin Spectre fits better with Spectre.
Yeah, it's just... we'll get there, but like, nah.
And it's one of those I kind of feel like with the end's final form, that should be the same kind of parallel we should see.
Yeah. I kind of feel like just Dien's just He's nice middle of the road.
I kind of feel like I have to agree.
Yeah. Also, God
Max
Mighty
is or a nice, because you kind of said both.
Oh, Yeah, nice middle of the road option. I will say, God Max Mighty is fun when you plug in Hyper Muteki. Because it has its own sound effects for Hyper Muteki.
Oh god.
Yeah, Dan Kuroto does his own like song version of the Hyper Muteki jingle. I think you have to turn off Hyper Muteki to actually hear it, but it's hilarious. Anyway, Axel with Trial or Booster? I don't know. Do you want to count Booster in this one?
I mean, technically, I guess we have to.
Yeah, I don't know. I get weird with secondary rider final forms where I'm like, well, if they don't get one in series, yeah, we count the V Cinema one or whatever comes after it. But like, if we get one in series, I don't know if we need to really count the V Cinema one. And I don't know. I guess I just personally I prefer Trial because Booster is cool for its one-off appearance, but Trial has the more story significance to Terry's arc. It is literally the culmination of his character arc in Double, is gaining Trial and beating Weather.
Because you know, I can't even... the argument I started to say was, could we go off of the fact that maybe for whatever reason Trial couldn't handle it and that's why Booster came into play kind of deal? but at the same time, that would also follow the same rule for movie exclusive forms, which are clearly not final forms.
Yeah.
So
sometimes.
it's one of those, it's like, eh.
I feel weird because Booster feels situational because, like, oh, Terry needs to fly for this fight, so he gets the flight form, which is Booster. Otherwise, he could have handled this in Trial. He just had a busted up leg, so he couldn't properly use Trial. Or regular Axel, even.
I guess technically that would more boil down to a case by case.
Yeah.
Like, in this situation, I would probably consider Trial over Booster, and just let Booster be that exclusive.
Yeah. Trial's a nice complement to Axel's arsenal. It also helps that Booster isn't even its own memory. It's just this little, like, dongle you attach to the Axel memory and then slot in.
True.
Yeah. Booster's from Axel's V Cinema. It's a... I'll grab an image of it real quick. Just so people have a reference on this. It's weird when people keep talking about Banana Axel, and it's not this Axel because it's also yellow. They're talking about that in-between yellow Axel suit when he's transforming in Trial. That people want it to be its own form, but it's not, and I don't know why people bother with it. I was about to say, I don't need a colon, right?
No.
Okay.
I will have to that. But that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Booster. Like I said, Booster's alright. Trial. Honestly, to talk about Trial, I really like Trial. I think it hits all the marks for a final form. It's plot relevant, it's character arc relevant, it's a really nice suit, it's a really cool power set. It's what a final form should be for a character.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I feel like it's not going to be the only one we're going to be able to say that with too.
Yeah. Now the fun one. Birthday. I don't want to call this a form because it's not really a form.
It's not really.
It's just a thing where really, well, no, they both do it. I keep forgetting that both of them do it. It's birthed with all of the Gashapon weapons turned on, more or less. It's about as messy as you think it is. Like, I don't know. It's counted as a form, but for
it really isn't.
No, it's kind of just an attack thing. I don't know. He doesn't. He just rolls around on the treads. Or flies, because he can fly too. I don't know. I kind of want to just not rank it because it's not a form. It's just this weird attack mode thing, and that's kind of it. That has like a second variation of it because you have the Colossosauri that pops up for the 999 and 1000th episodes of the series.
I kind of have to agree with Charizard.
Yeah.
Just dunking it in that last. Because, I mean,
You were pushing.
it's not a form.
Yeah, if we want to talk about a birth form or like a birth upgrade, I will grab it. Because there is rebirth from SIC.
I mean, it legitimately is not a form. They literally have no bearing on when they can do it. Truthfully, either one of them could have done it from the moment they got the belt, meaning it's kind of pointless.
Yeah. If we want to talk about like birth upgrades, like there's this from SIC, which is rebirth, which is Date's like, I guess, own version of birth he gets from an SIC story. I'd like to see this in a show aesthetic instead of SIC aesthetic. Personally. I really like it.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I think it's its own belt too. So it's kind of a Zangetsu Shin Zangetsu situation where it's just like, oh, you get a belt swap. Oh, that complicates things, doesn't it?
I mean, unless you're just that powerful that you can change belts mid-fight.
To be fair, both Zangetsu and Baron have done that.
Yep.
G3 can't, but that's because G3 is a literal armor. Grateful too, yeah.
True.
Although, they're technically not physical belts. Well, Grateful's technically a physical belt, but like, Takaru can just like make the Ghost Driver disappear for a hot second so you can put on the Grateful Driver. But for Baron and Zangetsu, they literally rip the belt off and put the new one on and don't drop out of their form changes. Like, that's a little bit more impressive.
Especially the first time we see it.
Yep. Alright, so... Meteor Storm. Oh, this is that got a weird slotting in Forza. Because, like, it's a big character moment for Ryutaro. Or for Ryu, but he immediately kind of has to do the deed for the Cosmic episodes, like, I think, 3 episodes later? 2 or 3 episodes later?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, this is the weird thing for Meteor Storm, because, like, Ryu's entire character arc doesn't end at Meteor Storm, or doesn't culminate in Meteor Storm. It culminates technically with Cosmic by extension.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but honestly, otherwise, Meteor Storm works. It also has a Beyblade, which gets points from me. You have a Beyblade as an attack. Yes.
Yep.
You get points.
Spin to win for days.
I guess 1 level below Trial. Just because of the weird thing it does.
Yeah, because it is kind of that. It's kind of that weird. That's not the at peak of his story kind of deal.
Yeah. Although they do try to bounce back from that by giving him his rivalry with Leo for like the back quarter of Forza, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Forza is really good. We watched all of it and all of its relevant materials for the podcast. All right. Beast Hyper. Wizard gets weird with this one. I'm trying to remember like plot relevance for Hyper, and I'm just like, didn't they just discover the gun, and then like more or less, Nito just got his like version of or not All Dragon, but like Flame Dragon with this. I feel like that's what Hyper is.
It's honestly been so long, I can't remember the plot relevance for it.
Yeah, all I remember is they found gun turned out to be upgrade. Nito like re-upped his deal with Chimera, therefore Hyper. That's like the broad strokes I remember, but like past that, nothing really. And like Nito doesn't super have a character arc from what I remember from Wizard.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of there for the ride.
Yeah. So I guess like one below Meteor.
Yeah. I mean, unless I'm forgetting something. I mean,
yeah. I'm surprised you saw subs in Spanish. I'm used to seeing Indonesian subs. I don't think he's homeless. I think he just is. I think he's just living the hermit life that Edgy lives.
except he just lacks the hermit wisdom.
Yep. All right, now the fun pair of game points with no Zangetsu for some reason.
Yeah, that feels weird.
Yeah, because you have Shin Zangetsu, and then you have Zangetsu like proto watermelon arms. To be fair, Gio's showcase of Nito is more or less accurate. Outside of weird timey-wimey bullshit.
I was gonna say, one of the few times that sentence can be said about Gio, but
yeah. Look, he one-ups Edgy on the hermit lifestyle because he actually keeps a tent with him. But anywho, Lord Baron, or Limit Energy Baron, if you don't want to count Lord Baron as a... about as longer than Terry, to say Henshin, to be honest. I don't, it feels weird. It's like Lord Baron, it's not a rider form, technically. It's more of a monster form, especially since it's using, I think, parts reused from Redyu. I know he's using Redyu's sword.
But for all I almost feel, though, like it should be, but at the same time, it has so little time within the show that I feel like we could get away with not counting it, too.
Yeah, it only is in like a handful of episodes at the end. I was gonna say, but for game purposes and like ancillary media, Lord Baron is more or less Baron's final form. Because it gets showcased everywhere. It's in All Riders, it's in the Battle Ride Wars, like past game's debut with the first one. It's in Gamba Rising, it's everywhere. It's more or less counted. I will say, Limit Energy works as a rider form, but Baron feels like the right culmination of Kaito's arc compared to Koda.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, it kind of helps solidify the conflict we saw early in Game 2.
Yeah.
as far as not only the scenes of us seeing Gaiman Baron basically being the last two fighting, but also it kind of helps keep the power difference between. Because let's be fair, if we had Kiwami versus Lemon Energy Baron, we would kind of have a one-sided fight. So yeah, I feel like he does kind of need it to help solidify the story for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Lord Baron works on all accounts. It's weird that it's not a writer form, but it works because it's not a writer form. I don't know. I'm almost wanting to say the pretty good one, but it could be honestly be in between on that one.
I feel like I agree.
Yeah.
Like I could see it. I could see it at the top, but the problem is, like you said, it's not really considered a writer form, and I think that's where the problems more come in.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that the weird one and only time where the secondary writer kind of ended up becoming the main villain, and they've never done that again.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we will ever have anyone be as ballsy kind of deal.
Yeah. All right, Hell Ryugen for the 2 episodes it appears in, because Horimichi got nothing past that, and only got before that he gets like what, Kiwi, which is bad. It is hard to judge Hell Ryugen off the 2 episodes it appears in. Like, everything works for his character arc, eventually, like, more or less getting duped by Ryoma into going, hey, here's this Loxy that will give you ultimate power, but also murder you in the process, because your dumbass doesn't know the difference.
And I also kind of feel like it's perfect for his arc because of the fact of it literally is his lowest point.
Yeah.
He is at the point when he gets it to be fine with killing himself just to try to accomplish his other goals, kind of deal. And it's one of those, I feel like that fits. I feel like the problem is the underutilization of it.
Yeah.
But it's because of how they did it in the show, too.
Yeah. Below Baron? It's the Joy Nito?
Yeah, but I kind of feel like if it was utilized a bit more, it probably could have been right up there.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing Michi's gotten since then is he's gotten the Jimba form with the Dragon Fruit's Energy Lock Seed from the movie. Which all I have is an SIC image of that, and SIC does Jimba super differently in terms of aesthetic, so it would not be an accurate representation of what Jimba Dragon would look like.
Fair.
All right, Chaser Mach. Yay, another one that only appears in 1 episode.
I mean, this is one of those that I feel like it does do good, but at the same time, it was uber underutilized. Because, like you said, one episode, and really not even the full episode.
Nope, one fight.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's easier to judge Mach off dead heat, and I don't know, dead heat works for him more. Especially since he's the one that mastered it. And that kind of was his power-up for the longest time, was master dead heat.
I feel like Chaser Mach does good as a conclusion to his story, because it kind of shows the point where he's finally grown to accept droid moods and the fact that they can be more than just evil, mindless killing machines.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it doesn't have anything else.
So, with Hell Ryugen or with Lord Baron on this one?
If we're only going off of Chaser Mach, I'd probably say with Hell Ryugen. If we're counting Dead Heat as his final, but treating Chaser Mach as like the conclusion of the story, maybe with Lord Baron?
I'd put it with Lord Baron. You at least get that. You get to do Chase's death properly for that one, so you get that one.
Because I mean, I don't count Chaser Mach as his final form, but it kind of is because of it's the end of his story. So it's one of those, that's why I'm like, it really depends on how we go with that.
Yeah. Go join Lord Baron. You got to be the first one to deal with Chase dying. And oh god, have they tried to replicate that so many times. And I hate it every time now.
It works good once. After that, it don't work so good anymore.
Yep. So, I guess Deep Spectre, Sin Spectre.
Is it bad that I almost can kind of understand why this tier list might not have Sin Spectre in there now?
Because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like Mugen.
Not so much that as, you know, the movie that brings it into fruition kind of
isn't good
at all, and completely retcons Spectre's entire story.
Yeah, that doesn't help either.
Like, maybe I can understand why they didn't put Sun Spectre in there.
For reference for folks.
One second.
More or less, it's blue Mugen. It's Mugen in Spectre colors with a Spectre helmet.
It's Bluegan.
Yep.
Like I said, I feel like with Sun Spectre, it is the incomplete done right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I can also understand why this tier list ignores it.
Yeah.
Like, if Spectre's retcon of his backstory had at least been hinted at throughout the show, I could understand them doing it that way. Since it wasn't, is what makes it a problem.
Yeah.
The picture kind of doesn't do it justice. The fight scene that's used in it doesn't look as bad.
No, it has a wonderful fight scene. Absolutely wonderful fight scene. But unfortunately, the preceding 40 minutes are not the best movie.
Yeah.
You're better off just watching Sin Spectre fight scene. And just be like, oh, it happened because it happened just like Mugen did. It just kind of boop. Oh, look, I have a new icon. It's hard to talk about Deep Spectre because all it is just Makoto going, I'm not going to let Takaru get a power-up. I want a power-up. And then he got power-up. And then Genmaiser stuff happened that took far too long to get around to.
And Makoto clone.
Yeah, Makoto and his brethren.
Yeah, Makoto through Mako 15.
Yeah.
16, my bad. Mako 16.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he gets to join the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and I almost feel like that's probably only the case because of Sin Spectre.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like he might be joining Birth because it just kind of is a thing that happens.
Yep. Speaking of the thing that just happens, friendship boost.
That literally just happens from the Necrom icon.
One fight scene, doesn't even get to properly win the fight scene. Alan gets gutted and disappears for the rest of the movie until the end. I want to say you joined Birth on that one.
The same movie as Sin Spectre. I think I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for it to go higher.
Yeah, this should like the Spectre v Cinema should have been the Necrom v Cinema, and it should have been Friendship Boost's debut instead of fucking Sin Spectre.
I feel like, in all seriousness, Friendship Boost is the upgrade that Alan needed in series. Like,
yeah.
at the point that he kind of starts having his face turn and start realizing stuff, it should be right around there where it becomes a thing.
Yeah, and he should have got his version of the handgun then. The slap gun.
Instead, he gets screwed.
Yep. Best writer in the series, screwed over in the end. Poor Alan. So now the fun X8 batch. Brave Tattle Legacy, which has weird history with it, because technically Brave is using the gas hat from a different writer to access this form. Because Tattle Legacy debuted months ahead under a different name, and that was True Brave from its Spring Tyson film.
Oh my goodness.
I will pull this up real quick. And even better, True Brave is just a video game world version of Hero. Like, that's another Brave. Or True Brave. And as you can see, and just for reference, he's using the Tattle Legacy gas hat. And they literally just pulled the armor off that suit and just gave it to Brave as a last-minute upgrade.
Huh.
Yep. It is a weird history on that one. But other than that, you had Hero getting Tattle Legacy when he more or less was given the offer of save your girlfriend. I believe girlfriend? They weren't. It wasn't his fiance, was it?
I believe it was just girlfriend.
Okay. His girlfriend, given the chance to get her back. So he got Tattle Legacy, but he eventually turned and just got to keep it. I don't know. Tattle Legacy gets to be in that weird point of Xaid where they kind of draw things out a little too long.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I kind of like it because I kind of like that he at least gets an upgrade from level 50 to something more comparable with what's there that everyone else is going on. The only problem is it's just Tattle Fantasy in usage. Because I don't think it does anything spectacularly different from Tattle Fantasy outside of not summoning minions, which Fantasy could do.
I think you're right, actually. Huh.
I don't know. I kind of feel like it kind of should go with Hellryugen and Beast Hyper on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's more than a just it happened.
Yeah. It had story stuff to it, but not quite.
Not strong story stuff, anyhow.
No, faults of Link Xaid writing.
Yeah. When we have to let Final Villain live for like 15 episodes before we actually kill him.
Oh, yeah. So, speaking of things sticking around too long, poor Snipe. Bang Bang Simulation. Stuck at level 50 for most of the show until the 2 times he gets to be Kronos, which I don't count as his final forms because he is not Snipe at that point. He's just taking over the mantle of Kronos. He's just another user of Kronos at that point. That doesn't count. He's not Snipe Kronos, he's just Kronos. Those are in fact 2 different writer identities, regardless of which belt he uses. Because in another ending, he actually uses the Buckle Driver instead of the Gamer Driver with the double Chronicle gas hats. Otherwise, I honestly don't really recall what Simulation's plot relevance was. Like, it doesn't just happen. It has its point, but I just can't remember any of it.
I can't either.
Because that's like mid-Xaid. Because we're like mid-Xaid, like, I think like either before or after Max Mighty. I don't remember when. No, before. No. Is it before? Yeah, before. Yeah, because they have to trade off back and forth who has it. And whoever doesn't have it has to go, like, full level 5 Dragonite Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess with Legacy, Snipe gets to join his comrade Brave. I don't know. He can be there or be like one lower.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah. He really needs something new. Of course, I have a pitch for that. A pitch of, hey, why don't we give him a form that lets him use the other gas hats to more or less create, like, blank riders using those armors. More or less, give him Fuma's power set of making the ninja players, except he makes his own, like kind of like Right players, except they have the armors actually equipped to them. So like he can make a Right player with Shakakiri Sports equipped, because like he's been exposed to all the different viruses and stuff, so like he can, I don't know. It's something that could play with the progression, I guess, of his, kind of like how like Braves is in terms of like the genre.
Right.
Oh, that's just my pitch. So, Laser Turbo. It's weird to call this a final form because it's kind of just bare bones basic laser.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah, it's laser, except now you get to do all the fun things that everyone else can do. Instead of being hampered by your power set.
Hampered by the fact that you're a bike.
Yes. You are no longer Bike Man. No, he's not. Kiryu is not technically healed the entire time he's Laser Turbo. He's actually faced the entire time. He's just playing heal. That's the twist. The only one who makes a heel turn out of him and Kiryu at the end of the series is Hiro. Or is Hero. And he goes back to face like after a few episodes. Kiryu is, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But it's all a trick. Kiryu's playing heel, but he's not actually heel.
Because that's kind of his thing.
Yeah. He's only doing it because he got brought back to life. Yeah, no, Kiryu's not evil. I don't know, it just feels kind of meh.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, it does have story relevance because, as you said, that's part of him coming back to life, but that's not the peak of it either, so, yeah.
I guess the only, if you want to call a peak of his character arc, it's Laser Level X when he gets to beat the shit out of Dan and kill him. But he doesn't, because I know he doesn't. Mighty Novel X confirms that Dan's not dead. Because, god damn it, we can't kill a villain. So.
I kind of think in the
Yeah. Alright. Dan with whatever version of Dangerous Zombie we want to talk about, or like God Max Mighty. Since Dan is in the weird, he should be main villain by the end of the Vexade, but he's not for whatever stupid reason. I don't know why the big twist at the end of Vexade is that he kills his dad and takes over final villain role, because that's who he is. He got too likable, and we refused to kill him, and refused to let him be main villain. He is Meme Master Dan.
Yep.
But honestly, all the stuff of Dan works. It's just, it works in the sense of, this works as a character arc for a villain, and not a hero.
And I feel like it. Now, obviously, I'm excluding God Max Mighty in this, but I also kind of feel like it's weird that he builds up to Dangerous Zombie, basically gets knocked back down, and then his peak just kind of sticks at Dangerous Zombie because of that.
He just goes right back to Dangerous Zombie.
And it's like...
just with a different belt.
Yeah. And it's one of those, it's like, I feel like he kind of needed something.
I believe God Max Mighty is it, because it gives him more or less immunity to Kronos, the ability to just make whatever fucking rules he wants for the battle, and also I got to bitch slap my dad with a moon. Literally, grab the moon, bitch slap Kronos with it.
But that's why I was like, I'm kind of excluding God Max Mighty when I was saying that. I don't know.
I'm willing to say nice. At least.
At least because of how they kind of treated God Max Mighty.
Yeah. It works. It just works in that weird way of like, all right, you are villain. You're like the only villain we get to talk about here because you're the only one who like works in terms of long form game planning, but
and is kind of truthfully by the end of the series that like neutral because he's not really a threat.
He's more anti-hero in a sense. Because what he does in another ending more like gives them the out. No. When I say that Genom like bitch slapped Kronos with the moon, I literally mean in God Max Mighty, he took Kronos to space, grabbed the moon with his arm, and proceeded to dunk his dad with it. Literally. That is literally a fight scene in the Genom Laser movie. The Genom Laser movie is good just for that. Anywho, Paradox. Feels weird to be, hey, this is your final form, which is just, hey, this is just you using a proper belt now. Since your other two forms are just the same thing, just like different shoulder pads and helmet. It's also weird because I feel like Paradox could use something different, but I don't know what to give him different. Or what his route for an upgrade would be. I kind of want to go.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he's fine where he's at, though.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree with the though.
Yeah.
Because there again, we get in that whole belt doesn't really do anything for the story of the character, so
The Proto Dual Gas Hat is actually a different rider. That's a different Paradox. That proper Paradox has to fight in the Paradox Poppy movie. Another Paradox is a separate rider. Yeah. Look, another ending is weird sometimes. Especially the first one. It's fine. So Cross Magma or Cross Evolt. I don't want to call. I don't want to count Cross Evolt because I don't like the Cross movie. Because it backpedals on my.
Well, then in that case, we can just say end series and go from there.
Yeah. I feel like Cross Magma works. Ryuga has like a really good character arc. Cross Magma feels like a nice culmination to it.
Yeah.
And I'd say pretty good on all around.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that would knock it up higher because I mean it does good, and there again we kind of hit this in that spot of build where, you know, a Volt won't die.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to backpedal on that one. The problem is, and we kind of hit the same problem when we were doing the main writer Final Forms, is Double did everything right for Final Forms. For us, of plot relevance, character relevance, and showcase. Problem is, every other writer is missing like one of them. Is missing like one of those like key factors.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Yeah. When it hits all the right points, it gets to be with Axel. And it's not like
unfortunately, I don't think any of what's left will either.
No, not really. Yeah. The thing is, Axel's the bar. Even if you make lower than the bar, you're still pretty good. Like, I think the only bad ones here are, like, Birthday and Alan Boost.
Yeah. Friendship Boost and Birthday. Yeah. Yep. That's the bad ones.
We did it a few...
The rest of them I kind of feel is more because, you know, the show kind of poorly handled certain things.
Yeah, we did it a couple weeks ago on TGS. If you go back about 2 TGS episodes, you'll probably find it. Because I think it was like 2 episodes ago. So more or less 4 weeks ago. Anywho, Grease Blizzard, or Grease Perfect Kingdom. I kind of want to count Perfect Kingdom because I like it better. Because that's technically a form change for Stronger. So it's here because Stronger has a form change with Charge Up. I don't question the people who make these tier lists. We didn't make it. We're just doing tier lists. We didn't make it.
Yeah, because if we made it, both Omageo and the Volt would not have been in there.
We would not be talking about them, nor Kronos, because the 3 of them can be dumpstered. So, Grease Blizzard, have you seen the Grease V Cinema?
I don't think I have.
Okay. I like Perfect Kingdom because, like, he gets to use attacks from the 3 crows. Or based off the 3 crows, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that his proper, like, final form is him more or less using his pals' attacks and stuff alongside himself. Since they were a unit at the start of the show, I like that full circle. And then the movie makes you think that the power-up happened at the sacrifice of the 3 of them, but then it goes off of that, because it's like, no, I didn't do that. You really think I would? You had to think so to make it work. I'll grab an image of that. So how do you feel about Blizzard then? For the 2 episodes it's in? I want to say it was 2 episodes.
I think you're right. Because there seems to be this recurring theme of barely used forms.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.
Part of me kind of feels like it was somewhat shoehorned in.
Yeah.
More to give him an upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad form, and I feel like it kind of does similar things as to what you were kind of getting at with the Perfect Kingdom form kind of deal.
Yeah.
It just, I feel like it's lacking, though.
Mm-hmm. It's lacking that special spark, and Perfect Kingdom doesn't quite have it either, because, like, the Grease V Cinema isn't the best. It unfortunately applies more or less the same plot as the Cross V Cinema of here's here's a threat from the previous world here to make the world their own using the exact same methods, more or less. Eh. I feel like it gets nice.
Yeah. Because, like I said, there's still room for improvement, but it doesn't do bad either.
Yeah. So, technically Prime Rogue, even though it was literally in a Hyper Battle video. How do you feel about Rogue using a repaint of the full bottles to get a more intricate design on the chest and a cape? Just a blank white cape. Like, I'll pull up a full image for this since it's a really oddball one to have here and to be talking about, because like it gets to show up in the Greaseby cinema for some reason. No, he gets a different chest design and a helmet, but yeah, mainly it's the cape. I don't know, Prime Rogue is weird. There's the full suit. Like I said, he gets a little bit intricacy to him, like a little intricate on the helmet and the chest, a little bit more on the arms and stuff, but mainly it's the cape. It's caped Rogue. How do you like caped Rogue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's about where it belongs.
If we went off of the form before our caped Rogue here.
Yeah.
I still feel like we got that part of it because of the fact of the suit doesn't really define the end of his arc.
No. Honestly, there is no defined end of his arc related to a form. It's more actually his clothes out of suit that define how his arc is.
Yeah. And it's one of those that it literally is just another form.
Yep.
So, yeah, I still think regardless of what form we want to consider his final.
Yeah. Alright. The fun Geo ones. Gates Revive! Or Gates Majesty. You haven't watched Gates Majesty yet, have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. How was it? Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could be worse, but
It has the best double tribute in all of Geo's material.
I completely believe it.
Out of every single bit of Geo material, it has the best double tribute, and that is fucking sad that it took us to the literal last piece of Geo material to finally get a proper double tribute. I'm so mad about that. I don't know. Gates Majesty's fine as a here's Grand Geo, but not quite, because we ain't got the budget to replicate that for secondary riders by hot gluing all the ride watches on there.
I kind of like that actually because it's so funny.
Especially when he has to click them to use their stuff. Like he actually has.
I feel like that's better than Sogo just tapping the panel.
A little bit. I would assume they used some really good super glue. I don't know. It's weird because I'm like, it's Geo, so meh off the bat because bias. Because I don't know where else to put it higher. Because I'm just like, Gates kind of doesn't have a character arc for the whole series. He kind of has it in the first like quarter of it, and then it just kind of disappears afterwards.
Yeah, like the start of it becomes must kill Sogo, and then at a certain point that's just gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Completely agree.
Ginga, can I dumpster you immediately for association with the worst episodes of Geo? I kind of want to dumpster you on that fact alone.
I mean, excluding the entire fact of why did Woz need to be a writer, it did nothing really. It was more of a form change than a final form.
Yeah. From a future writer with no backstory, no nothing, literally just shows up to punch people, get punched. Oh look, here's your new Ride Watch power up. Fucking, you deserve to be dumpstered because you are the worst. Go in the dumpster. You belong there.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it belongs with birthday and friendship boost.
Yep. Into the dumpster with you, Ginga, and all 3 of your form changes within it, because you technically haven't, like, 2 other forms within proper Ginga. Because he has a planet form and a sun form. In case you forgot.
Did he even use them?
He used them at least for 1 episode apiece. Because he used them in the Kabuto episodes.
I super don't remember that.
I barely do, too.
Oh boy.
Isn't it White Waz that eats it, not Black Waz? I was about to say Black Waz eats White Waz, but White Waz is the one who eats the another DN Ride Watch. I was about to say, I believe it's that way. It's weird. The Wazes are weird.
I don't know.
Geo's weird.
I kind of feel mad at myself for finishing Geo. Like, that's what's bad.
Yeah.
Because Geo does nothing right. But yeah.
Apparently there are not enough tier lists for people for us to get full rankings. For some reason, Stronger is on the bottom of these 2 of these lists, and I say, fuck off, good sirs. What the hell? Why? No. You, sir, need to be educated on your show writers. Stronger Charge Up is really good, from my understanding of how Charge Up comes about. Wow, one list has both the revives and Grand Geo on the bottom. Although it seems to be fairly consistent. Birth? Nope. Pocket that for another week, I would probably. Because we'll probably need another one in 2 weeks. Anything else?
No.
Alright, we got releases. Actually, quite a few releases. So to start off, we got Superhero X for PlayStation 4 coming out on May 18th. On the 19th, we have Uphold Apart for PlayStation 4, Concept Destruction for PlayStation 4, Dungeon of the Endless for PlayStation 4, Edge of Eternity for PlayStation 4, Fluxteria for PlayStation 4, Golf with Your Friends for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Gorn for PlayStation 4, The Wonderful 101 Remastered for Switch and PlayStation 4. Y'all should go pick that up. It's really good.
I forgot to compound those. Oops.
It is really good. I've actually seen the remaster in action because backers got that early. Like, right now early. It looks really good. They managed to figure out how to do all the camera stuff, which is just, oh, you just follow the characters. It's still a bit jank, but it still looks really good. We also have Wasteland 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 20th, we have Cannibal Cuisine for Switch. I'll get the name right eventually. Operation Logic Bomb for SNES. Panel de Pawn for SNES. Rygar for NES and Wild Guns for SNES. All that's coming on the Switch Online service. So those are all your new Switch Online games. Coming out on the 21st, we have Aqua Lungers for Switch, Arrest of a Stone Buddha for Switch, Ember for Stadia, Fluxteria for Switch, Lost Artifacts Time Machine for Switch, Luxar for Switch, Monster Prom XXL for Switch, Pushy and Pulley and Blockland for Switch, Really Missed Masterpiece Edition for Switch, Red Wings Aces of the Sky for Switch, Speed Rain for Switch, The Precedents for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Trailmakers for PlayStation 4, and What the Golf for Switch. On the 22nd, we have Animal Up for Switch, Arcade Spirits for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Concept Destruction for Switch, Dragon Ball Fighter Z's Ultra Instinct Goku DLC for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Alt Milestone 1 for PlayStation 4, Gunman Clive HD Collection for... Wait, did I say it wrong? Oh, Steel Rain. Whoops. Don't mind me, I mispronounce names all the time. Yeah, Steel Rain, not Speed Rain. Where was I? Fault Milestone 1 for PlayStation 4. Gunman Clive HD Collection for PlayStation 4. Maneater for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Mech's Termination Force for PlayStation 4, Monstrum for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Saints Row the Third Remastered for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Soko Bunny for Xbox One. On the 26th, Age of Wonders Planetfall Invasions for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Minecraft Dungeons for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Wow, that's finally actually coming out. That's been announced for like a year now.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath DLC for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and Stadia. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD for Switch. Slime Rancher Deluxe Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Utawawa Erumono Prelude of the Fall for PlayStation 4 and Vita. I'm going to go with it. On the 28th, we have Adam I Corpse for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Is that what I think it is? Let me double check real quick. Is that Paper Mario style game? Yes,
I believe
it
is. Yes.
Yes. If you're looking for a Paper Mario game, this is it. It's a Paper Mario style game where you play as bugs. It looks really good. I guess that's getting a full release on those now. It's been on Steam forever. We also got Fly Punch Boom for Switch, Game Tengoku, Cruisin' Mixed Special for Switch, Hill Climbing Mania for Switch, Hotel R&R for PlayStation 4, Resolution for Switch, Sega Ages Thunder Force AC for Switch, Synaptic Drive for Switch, Those Who Remain for Xbox One on PlayStation 4, and Turmoil for Switch. And on the 29th, Adam's Venture Origins for Switch, and more or less the BioShock Collection, which is BioShock 1 Remastered, Bioshock 2 Remastered, and the complete edition of Bioshock Infinite are all coming to Switch. Borderlands Legacy Collection, which I believe is 1 and 2 in all their DLCs, is also coming to Switch. I might be wrong on that. Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling is also coming to Xbox One. If that's on Game Pass, that's a fucking steal. Granted, I think with as much as is on Game Pass, Game Pass is a fucking steal at this point. I kind of wouldn't mind having Game Pass, to be honest. We also have Flux 8 for Switch, Genetic Disaster for Switch, Little Misfortune for Xbox One and Switch, XCOM 2 Collection, which is XCOM 2 and all of its DLCs, is coming to Switch, and kind of the big one, honestly, in the next couple, or one of the big ones in the next couple weeks, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for Switch. Like, that is a huge one. I'm really interested in that one. And finally, on the 30th, hashtag Woman Up Super Puzzles Dream for Switch. Which takes us to quick draws, and mine, I didn't have much of one, so go watch Kuga. It's officially subbed on Shout Factory. Just go watch it. All the episodes are there. The Grongi are subtitled. It's not a big deal. Go watch it. It's really good. I'm at 22, I think. As I pull this up real quick and see where See, I believe I'm on 22. Yep. And Charizard's in the 40s, so he's up close to the end of the series. Yeah, go watch it. It's really good. You can watch it on Shout Factory's own website or on Tubi. On their app, or just wherever Shout Factory puts their stuff. So, yeah, go watch it. That's it. You don't have a quick draw, right?
Right.
All right. Oh, Pluto. Right, Pluto 2. That's pretty much it. So, tomorrow, are you excited to take a dip into the Showa era for the first time?
I guess so.
Okay.
Because I mean, I haven't watched the episodes yet, as normal.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going back in time tomorrow, back to 1971, as we start the original series. All 98 episodes. That will take us 25 weeks to get through.
I think you said that.
I'm double checking the watch list real quick. Jeez. Yep, 25 weeks. Get through it. 4 episodes at a time, except for 2 times. Where we watch 3 episodes. Because odd episode counts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Got anything else?
No.
Alright then, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. We really appreciate it. We're chipping away at that average viewer follower goal, so if you get more people watching us, we can meet that goal, and I will do the Ratchet & Clank trilogy after I'm done with one of the 2 games I'm streaming at the moment, so it might be a little bit. At TG Saloon on Twitter will get you updates on when we go live, and explanation for going to Discord and chat gets you the Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We have a Dropbox for questions. Drop us questions. We'll answer them on stream. But that'll do it for me and for Tommy. Good night, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.